Greetings and salutations, welcome to another video. This time we'll be playing some Baldurs Gate 3. I have played this game before. I about completed Act 1 and started Act 2 with a friend, but unfortunately real life circumstances stopped us from playing together. And I decided that it would be pretty nice, I think, if I were to stream this game. I mean, not stream, but record my playthrough of this game. I am a Dungeon Master, aka someone who plays Dungeons and Dragons, and is the one that basically creates the worlds and settings so players can play with me. And I have about 4 years of experience playing with friends, so I thought it would be a pretty interesting experience to watch it from perspective of someone who's experienced in the game. I did download some mods, most of them are cosmetics. There is one for dice, one for extra hairstyles, one for beards, and for extra camp clothes, so there is better customizability. But I also downloaded one that would affect performance. I think it wouldn't affect the game balance that much though. It's the uncapped levels, so I can level up not only to 12 but to all 20 levels. Granted, I hope it wouldn't affect the game difficulty that drastically, at least for the majority of the game, as I plan to challenge myself this time. Since I am experienced D&D player, I decided to play this game at the highest possible difficulty that I can from the new save file. Sorry for a bit longer intro, but I thought I would explain a few things. I will create a completely new character. I'm gonna play as custom character, not any of the origins. Neither will I pick Dark Urge for this one. And I'm not sure yet if I want to include the character creation section or not. I will see how long it takes. If it's short, I might include it. If it's long, then I'm just gonna skip it. For the sake of the video length. Also, I don't know how long this video will be, depending on where I am in the game and how I'm feeling recording it. With that, let's begin with the character creation. New game. Let's see. Seems like honor is the hardest I can. There is a tough campaign emphasizing strategic combat tactician, and there is honor. A fraught and deadly campaign always limited to a single save file. Details overview. Honor mode is an intense campaign recommended for experienced players. Stronger bosses, the most dangerous foes in the realm, are more powerful in this mode, with new abilities and legendary actions. Stricter rules. Alongside tactician mode, as regular difficulty increases, action economy and damage bonus rules are made stricter towards the end of the game. While hopefully me uncapping the levels wouldn't affect this difficulty rule that much. Single save file. You cannot reload all the saves in honor mode. If events go away, your choices and consequences always stick. If your entire party is defeated in combat, your honor mode run will end. You will be able to continue your adventure in custom mode should you desire, but finishing it will not count as finishing honor mode. If I would party wipe, TPK in D&D terms, I will most likely restart the save file, unless if it's at the very end of the game, then I might continue and just admit that I failed the challenge. Just for the sake of not replaying the entire game, just so I can finish the challenge, because that would be pretty boring to watch, I assume. If you are victorious and beat the game in this mode, you will be rewarded with a bespoke dice set to use in-game for future playthroughs, which is pretty neat. A little reward for challenging yourself. Good luck, honorable adventurer, you'll need it. I'm gonna challenge myself. Well, I'm gonna cut that. Cut that out. I've basically got a weird pop-up that minimized my game, so sorry if I missed a smidge of the first cutscene. I watched it once, so it wouldn't be a first-time reaction anyway. So yeah, we see an elephant ship here. Elephant means mind flayer in origin. and we will be experiencing quite the unpleasant scene. Of being infected with a Mind Flayer tadpole, which usually results in you transforming into Mind Flayer quite quickly. But as we will see in the course of this game, the story is quite different. Now for the fifth hand POV. Ouch. And here we go with character creations. Welcome back. Yeah, as this is not your first adventure, to those who you have already seen, will not appear again. If you want to see them again, you can reset tutorials. I think I'm gonna skip the tutorials, just so... Well... I'm gonna leave the tutorials for any people watching that might watch D&D for the first time, which I doubt because I'm pretty much a Beginnings channel, so no one would watch me for my insight and commentary. It would be most likely for the D&D aspect of things. Well, so I think I'm gonna skip the tutorials. I'm gonna play as a male character. And as I said, I'm not sure if I would include the character creation section. We will see. So, custom origin. And the... Oh, that's for randomize. For race, I think I was thinking about most likely dwarf or an half-elf maybe. As you can see, I haven't added any races, any classes, or anything besides the uncapped leveling. Alright, let's go with the dwarf. Base racial speed 7.5, dwarf combat training, proficiency with battle axe, hand axe, light hammer, and warhammer. So, a bit heavier weapons. Get the dark vision, which most of the bases get. And dwarf resistance, which gives me advantage on saving throws against poison, and resistance to poison damage. This resistance to have, there is only a few basic races that has resistances. Poison is pretty decently common encounter type. Here we have more information. I will of course be min-maxing because it's the hardest difficulty. Also, self-imposed rules. I will be able to use companions. It's not a one character challenge. I will, however, refrain from respecing them fully. I will have one respec at the start, but I will keep them within the same class as they started as. That will be an extra challenge. Well, I don't know why I'm telling this now, because if I decided to cut this out, I would need to repeat it. So now, which type of dwarf do I want? Gold dwarf, shield dwarf, or dwargar? The gold dwarf gives me hit points maximum increase. And I decided to play as a paladin, so this could be pretty useful. Shield dwarf gives me a dwarven armor training, armor proficiency with light and medium armor, which doesn't really affect me as a paladin because I would have those anyway. And dwargar gets superior dark vision, which doubles basically my sight range, and advantage on saving throw against illusions and being charmed or paralyzed, which is pretty decent ability. However, think I'm gonna go with the dwarven toughness with the gold dwarf, because you can't go wrong with more HP. Now for class, as I said, I decided to play as a paladin, because I think that might be interesting, and I'm gonna try to multi-class, some of the characters at least, mine included, and I want to see what I can get up to with the paladin, as I never played or really run a paladin character. I know, however, abilities of them. Yes, lay on hands, a healing touch spell, well, skill, as well as divine sense, bonus action in this format. it's actually worked, because it gives advantage on attack rolls against the celestial fiends and undead. Basic device sense allows you to detect them, as well as provides few extra benefits, but it's more so out of combat thing. And then class features: Channel Oath charges 1, ability to channel the power contained in your Paladin Oath, which you can use to fuel certain actions. Also, I think I missed the look part of, well, oh, I did have events, right? So let's get to that. Let's go that. Scanning. Sure. Let's slide us. Okay. We can get status. I think I will do. Nice. I tend to go for the blue icon because I have a voice. I'll do that. Makeup routines. Sure. Hairstyle. And I get a bunch of extra hairstyles with the monsters inside the ones. But maybe I have them. I just go to, you're right. You should have the ones. You have the I'm using long beats. Let's go this one. I see. Let's go more archway. What does that do? Right now we have the official link. I think let's see this one. I like those over there. That's also a game. That's another one. Let's see for some custom maybe. That'll be good. So yes, I can see the cover styles. That's few class. I'm gonna go find the basic stuff. Let's go this one. Let me see any changes. Let's try to do them. And so, going, let's see, maybe I'll do that. Sure. No. Back actually. So now that we have appearance done, let's finish off the stat part of the character creations, and we have 4 oaths to choose from. Unfortunately, not all of the options that the D&D provides. Just a few. Oath of the Ancients: you fight on the side of light in the cosmic struggle against darkness to preserve the sanctity of life and the beauty of nature, which allows us to the ability Healing Radiance. Heal yourself and all your allies for 5 hit points, regain another 5 hit points next turn. And it's bonus action, so pretty decent. That's the Oath ability. As well as subclass features. Oath of the Ancient Paladins abide by the following tenets: kindle the light throughout acts of kindness, kindle the light of hope in the bleakest hours of despair. Shelter the light, where love blooms, stand against the devilry that would snip its stem, and preserve your own light. Delight in culture and small joys to preserve the life in your own heart. Oath of Devotion. Following the ideal of the knights in shining armor, you act with honor and virtue, protect the weak and pursue the greater good. With ability being Holy Rebuke, grant an ally a vengeful aura that deals 1d4 radiant damage to anyone who hits them with a melee attack. So it's a bit different sort of party support. It's more so an individual protection, and not necessarily a protection as in deterrent from enemies to attacking them. And it lasts 2 turns. And tenants would be Paladins abide by following tenants: Courage, stride dangerously into action, dauntlessly into action; Compassion, show clemency when prudent and lend your arm to those in need; and Duty, tend your responsibilities, obey just laws, and support those entrusted to your care. Now we have, so those were the 2 good option oaths. Now we have a bit of a neutral or evil choice for oath. You have set aside even your own purity to right wrongs and deliver justice to those who have committed the most grievous sins. Inquisitor's Might. You or your ally weapons attack deal an additional 2 radiant damage and can daze enemies for 1 turn. I don't remember how it was. How it was T, right? Yeah, T to inspect. Daze being has disadvantage on wisdom saving throws, can't take reactions, and loses the dexterity bonus of their armor class. Removes if an ally helps this creature. I mean, it's not a bad effect. It only lasts 2 turns though. That this applies. It's bonus action. And oath of vengeance tenets are fight the greater evil, exerting your wisdom, identify the higher morality in any given instance and fight for it. And no mercy for the wicked, chasten those who dole out their villainy by wiping the blight from the roads forever. So this is more of a neutral option, not evil. Guess there is no evil oaths in this game. And Oath of the Crown. You have sworn yourself to ideals of civilization, serving the laws and hold society together and preserving the order they command. So that's the lawful option. Righteous Clarity. Target yourself or an ally to additionally grant the target proficiency bonus to their attack rolls. So I'm not sure because I don't recall this ability from the base game. Don't know if this adds additional proficiency, meaning that you can have both, or if this just adds proficiency if you don't have this. If it's the second case, it's pretty bad ability. If it's the first one, it's alright. And then Oath of Crown Tenants are law, uphold civilization and order, loyalty, your word is your bond, without loyalty, oaths and laws are meaningless, and responsibility, deal with the consequences of your actions and fulfill your duties and obligations. From all of those, I think I really like Oath of the Ancients a bit above all else, because it has a solid healing option, and it's an AoE healing also, as a bonus action. And while Oath of the Ancient is a bit restrictive, I think I can work within it. Through acts of kindness kindle the light of hope in the bleakest hollows of despair. Basically translates to you should help anyone you see that needs help. If someone needs help but you are unaware of it, you don't break your oath. But if someone actively asks you for help, you should accept it. Especially if they are in desperate situations. Next, Shelter of the Light. Where love blooms and stand against the devilry that would snip its stem. So that's a bit of an extension of the first oath, where in the first oath you would help someone in need. The second one is you would actively go against someone who causes problems to other people, especially if it's out of being evil. And finally, preserve your own oath, the light in culture and small joys to preserve the light in your own heart, which means that you should also indulge yourself a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm at least certain about this tenant because it's interestingly worded, but I think it basically translates to indulge yourself in the culture and small joys. Let's go with this one then. Background, which in this game is basically translated to how do you want to get your inspiration and which skills do you want. And Acolyte is a decent choice. You have spent your life in service to a temple, learning sacred rites and providing sacrifices to the god of gods of your worship, serving the gods and discovering their sacrificed works will grant you to greatness. It's insight, which is in normal D&D setting a bit of a DM dependent skill, as well as religion, which is a little bit on the niche side. I feel like I'm gonna go with Acolyte, Noble, or Soldier. Athletics and Intimidation are decent skills for Paladin. You are trained in battlefield tactics and combat, having served in a militia of mercenary company of officers' corps. Show smart tactics and bravery on the battlefield to enhance your prowess. Or noble, which is history persuasion. History is dependent on DM once again. Some hide a lot of behind history, some little less. So it's setting dependent, and persuasion is a pretty good skill and useful in a variety of circumstances. And you are raised in a family among the social elite, accustomed to power and privilege. Accumulating renown, power, and loyalty will raise your strength. I think out of those three, I'm going towards the soldier the most, so I will choose that one. And now abilities, which would be pure min-max, because it's gonna be a hard game, so I should pretty much go for the min-max. Alright, so my proficiencies, I already have intimidation and athletics because of my choices of background, and now in addition I'm gonna choose perception. I cannot choose perception, unfortunately. Persuasion, medicine, insight, or religion. I'm gonna choose religion now, and medicine. Medicine because it's a useful skill to have if game allows for certain stuff to be removed by medicine. And intimidation and religion just for the flavor of being a paladin. For the stats, it recommends me choosing strength, which is my physical damage stat, but also charisma is very important stat for a paladin, as well as constitution, because you will most likely be playing on the front lines. My main stat would be strength. Well, not exactly, my main stat would be actually constitution, with 16 in it. Then my secondary stat would be strength with 14 in it. As you can see, all even numbers to maximize the stat increases, which are happening every 2 points. There is a formula that can allow you to calculate when stat increases, you get the bonus benefits for the stat increases, and it's your stat number minus 10 divided by 2. So for 16 constitution, I would have minus 10, which is 6, divided by 2, which is 3, plus 3 to my constitution, which warrants me to plus 3 to constitution saving throws, even without proficiencies, as well as plus 3 hit points every level up. You can see where I go with this, with high constitution as well as my dwarf type. I'm gonna to be a tank character. Then for strength we will have plus 2 to our strength based weapon attacks. And charisma is my modifier for spells. And I'm gonna put it also at 14. Also plus 2. Then you never want to have a negative dex, but neutral dex is allowed. And you never want to have very low wisdom, because most of the spells will require either wisdom or charisma. That's the reason I'm gonna get 12 in the wisdom. Intelligence isn't usually as important of a stat. In this game it is slightly more important. I'm gonna dump it anyway. To add a bit more to wisdom. I cannot really. So I'm gonna min-max it and put it into intelligence so I don't have a flaw. Lowest modifier is plus 0 with 2 stands. I don't really need more dexterity because, well, usually you would want more dexterity to have AC bonus from dexterity to your armor. I will be using heavy armors and shields. Heavy armors basically negate any bonuses you would have from dexterity anyway. So that, I think, is all for the character. Except for name. Oop, I have a caps lock on. Which will be Natalis, of course. And for Guardian, I don't really care. I'm just gonna get the default I got. So we're back to the cutscene. we've just got infected by the illithid parasite, which would mean that we would die within very short track of time. Unfortunately, this poor guy doesn't ever get to make it to the top of the tower to ring the bell for alarm. Wilhelm scream. A little nice touch. And we have people being kidnapped to be transformed into more illithids. As well as Githyanki. Or Gith. In this case it's Githyanki. They can be either. A little bit on the history of Githyanki and Githzerai. They were both used to being slaves of the Illithid Empire. And eventually managed to free themselves, just to put it shortly. They also made a pact with the Tiamat, I believe. The ruler of the dragons, or god of the dragons, however you want to put it. I mainly do homebrew, so not really briefed that well on the lore of the gods. But they made this deal, and with help of the dragons basically helped them as a mount, ending combat. And as both of those races are cosmic races, we can see them traveling between planes of existence very, very quickly. And he will wake up. And immediately we see that certain character doesn't really want to help us and just focuses on their own escape. And we are in one of the hells. Great place to be, truly. I believe this was Avernus. And here the playthrough begins. Watch me immediately party wipe in the prologue. That will be quite embarrassing. Alright, I must say I haven't played for quite a while, so I will need to get used to controls once again.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Zoom in, out, camera movement. Okay.
Still breathing, despite everything.
As well as camera angle. Right. Mouse wheel if I want to rotate camera that way. So, I know that there is interaction with the nursery, but it's very easy to mess it up and just take a lot of damage for no reason. And it basically doesn't give you anything, so I'm gonna skip
Let's
it.
have a look. Wish I had a bag
Wow.
of holding.
Not pick up. I want to loot it. Take all.
Dead. Good.
We also have a chest right here. Open. Take all. How nice of them to not leave it locked.
Here goes nothing.
Well, almost accidentally interacted with it. Sorry for the camera while I'm still adjusting to the controls. So here we have our ship, and we are currently moving there. We just escaped from this room. Well, there is also this pathway here, and I believe it leads to another chest, so I might want to check it out. That would be somewhere in here. Yeah.
Where in the hells are we? Not everyone made it out alive.
I mean, makes sense. We are pretty much in the middle of the active war zone on a ship that was just attacked by a bunch of dragons and that crashed a bunch of times. Alright, now let's get back. I'm not gonna risk jumping and taking damage. Also, 14 health for a level 1, it's not bad at all. It's because Paladin has a pretty decent basic die, which is D10. At the first level we also always takes max, so that's 10 of my health. And then plus 3 from Constitution to 13 and plus 1 from my race to 14. Now we can exit this room. Okay, let's loot this goblin. There's also a tablet.
Images of goblins, their habits and histories flash into your mind.
So they were experimenting on the goblins, at least studying them.
A feeling penetrates your mind. An anomaly, one like ourselves, unconnected from the whole. Caution.
That's interesting.
Worlds beyond worlds flash before your eyes. Empires of a grand design, traversed by ships just like this.
So I believe that's the measure of the aforementioned by me Elfit Empire.
A schematic of a nautiloid flashes into your mind. Nerves, sinews, as much living being as ship.
Yeah, so basically, not only it is both a ship and a living being. Let's investigate this. Another Eldritch tablet.
1,000 years of humanoid history. Elves, dwarves, humans, and more flash behind your eyes.
They were studying the humans of this world. Alright, let's go and have our first interaction. As I said, I've played through Act 1, so I might not act surprised playing it again. I don't wanna act, so I basically just gonna narrate through what I'm doing, what does it mean if I know about it, and stuff like that.
come to save us from this place. From this place you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return. They return.
So yeah, what we seen flash in this corner was a skill check. Usually in D&D you would roll those manually, but because it's a game and it would take way longer to play through it, if you were to click to roll every single time, they automated it into the scene. What we were looking at is what was them? I forgot how they were called. Basically, walking brains that are under the Illithid control. Psychic flames or something like that? Not sure. Who am I talking to? I'm another brain.
A newborn. Born new from this husk.
You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer.
Oh, intellect devourer, sorry, right.
The mind flayers who abducted you.
Probably should wait with my commentary after I exhaust the dialogues, so because they might say what I'm talking about. I think you're past the point of saying tell me what to do, or you sound afraid. Why? Or I can just destroy it. Let's see.
The enemy. So many enemies.
So that would give us insight that the mind flayers aren't exactly in cahoots with the demons. Let's try.
Remove us from this body. From this case. Free us. Please.
Alright. So the intellect devourer wants to be free from the body so it can actually take on its true form. So now, as you can see, there are a lot of different attributes that would be required to execute a certain option. Usually in D&D you would tell your dungeon master what do you want to do, and they would ask for those skill checks. In this case we have them listed as this is a game, and that would be more convenient. And also, design of a game kinda limits by its design what we can do. Like, as a player we can't exactly do everything and anything because it will be impossible to contain it into a game. So we can use our investigation, which is based on our very low intelligence, to inspect the brain. We can try to break the skull to free it, which we could do. There's dexterity, which we are pretty bad at, to try to prise it from the skull, and we can also destroy the brain or leave. I am going to go with the destroying the brain. Why? Because this is an enemy. Myrna fell to a lethal blow. As a side text. Good. Sorry, but this guy wasn't alive anymore. If we were to free the brain, he would die anyway. It was too late for him. So might as well be pragmatic about it and save ourselves an enemy later on. Quick check on the map. I think we were in most of the places in this area. Let's continue then. Careful about the fire, don't want to take unnecessary damage. And here we have a cutscene.
Abomination. This is your end.
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
My head. What is this? Squaw. You are no thrall. Vlaakith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
So here Lae'zel recognizes that we are not under influence of mind flayers directly, which is kinda interesting because the way she realized that was through the direct psionic link, which is how mind flayer hive minds actually operate. Let's be pragmatic in this situation. We need to get out of here.
We can do nothing until we escape. That must be our priority. First, exterminate the natives. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship.
I must have
We will address the
misread.
matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane.
I accidentally choose a more in the future. What are we going to do than what we are doing now? And here we have our first combat. So yeah, I'm gonna be knowing what I'm doing pretty much.
Going into hiding.
Oh, I accidentally pressed... I already proved otherwise by pressing a button that it's not really good to press. And in such a case, I'm going to retreat, trying for the enemies to take one more turn and trying to pretty much funnel them
Give in.
more one by one. And yes, me being more up front is optimal. More optimal it would be if we could split damage, but can't really in this situation. I reckon the tanky character being in front would be good. And how do I enter my inventory actually? I? Yes, I. And how do I enter party? Would be P? No, not really. O. O is the over the top view. Well, we can always see like that. I have currently 16 AC. Lae'zel also have 16. So it's so we have pretty much the same defenses, but I have a bit more health. I also have an action, but no range options. I could actually use my action to dash in this situation, which I will, in attempt to split the damage. And I know it's not optimal to lose lose the action economy by moving, but as I already messed out with Lae'zel, I'm trying to salvage it by forcing all of the enemies to dash. Which, as you can see, was successful, and now our situation is looking a bit better because unless enemies have ranged attacks, they have to kinda fight us 2 by 2. They can't swarm us all 3 at the time. And despite my mistake, we are still at the same amount of action economy, just 1 turn later. And with that, let's try to do a main hand attack. Pretty high chance to hit, and we did. And I'm gonna actually stand here. Pommel Strike is a bonus action that may daze an enemy, but I'm gonna change to the other character first and see if I can just straight up kill the simp. Which I did, so dazing it would be of no use. Now let's get back to Lae'zel and go towards the simp. And when I can't main hand attack, I can offhand attack. Unfortunately, we didn't quite daze it. I don't want to move away from the creature. I can, however, try to give access to my main character, Natalis. And actually, I cannot really attack right now. I can, however, jump as a bonus action to gain an extra bit of movement, and then expand my movement to move here, for example. I wanted here, but it kinda didn't navigate that way. And they missed the one attack that they got. And here we have first fight.
Surprisingly adequate in battle.
Played it strategically,
To the helm.
avoided taking any damage whatsoever. By just smart decision making. Let's loot this room,
Never wanted the easy path.
as we could use all the resources we can get. And we already have some range options. Let's try to figure out the... Okay, I accidentally did a rest with Y. U unsheaths. L is... the spellbook, I guess. K. K is spellbook, and L is also spellbook, I guess. J is a journal, map, inspiration, dialogue, tutorials. H, alchemy. M for map. N is also for character as well as inventory, for whatever reason. B is for illicit. Let's undo this. C, X, and Z are also those quick. G is for grouping. Tab? Okay, tab was for characters. I prefer this window than the individual one character page. So, as a starter, I don't think it's much better, but it's slightly better, I think. Yeah, a bit more of a max damage because the shortbow is 1d6, which means its damage value will roll from 1 to 6. Crossbow is 1d8, which basically means that it deals, on average, more damage. And its highest possible damage is also a bit higher. Both use dexterity, which aren't either of our strong suits, but it's also always good to have a range option when you can't attack at melee, which we just experienced. Javelins are thrown distance attack that actually uses strength, which means those would be my first choice. Okay, I got a book, probably for my oath, so I can remember it. Right, let's continue. Based on map, I can see that there is some stuff here, but possibly some extra stuff in here if I go there, as well as to the right side. Let's check out the map. Okay, not much here. I'm assuming that I can't really go in that direction then. Oh well. Let's continue. And since we didn't take any damage here,
Ship won't be able to take another dragon attack. We need to get out before it's too late.
I think I chose pretty appropriate voice for this character, an elderly dwarf. Right. So, if I recall, we have some thralls here,
I can make no sense of it.
and if we interact with this machine, they are gonna wake up. Or I could make an alternative choice and just kill them that way. Which basically solves the encounter and gives us XP for it, without the need to take damage. Alright. I'm going.
You! Get me out of this damn thing! We have no time for stragglers.
You know what? I would prefer having a cleric in the party. Let's try to open
Construction
first.
is too alien. Nothing looks familiar.
This ship is crashing. Do you intend to die for a stranger?
Okay, I get it. You are very selfish.
Try that contraption next to the pod. They did something to it when they sealed me in. Hurry! Please!
Okay. Let's touch it.
The console appears dormant.
Let's
The mechanisms are completely unrecognizable at first. But then you spy an empty socket.
hit it. That would definitely help.
Nothing. The console remains dormant.
Well, it's way above the human level of machinery. It usually works when you hit it.
Whatever fits in that socket must power this thing.
So we have 2 rooms here. Let's check them out. I believe that's the room I want to go to. I've got the gold key.
How many hosts of these gay infected?
A dazed woman is trapped inside the pod. She doesn't notice you.
Alright. And we have a chest here. So I believe this is one of the modded items, the dice, which means it's good I checked here. And I think that's what we need for the Shadow Heart as we see by quest update. Alright. Let's free her.
The console appears dormant.
Insert the rune into the socket.
The console hums to life.
Arcana isn't really my best suit. It doesn't have to try though. So we are in the active roll menu for the first time. We need to beat 10, the DC. Nice that they display it actually. Usually you would roll manually. The DM would state the DC and then you would roll. In the game we just roll. Let's go with this one. And we made it. We had a 50-50 shot.
The pulsing glow and organic lines of the device make it seem more like a beating heart than a machine. Perhaps it will open the nearby pod.
Okay. We've glimpsed something on the machine.
Suddenly, you feel a hideous squirming in your head. A parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
So I will use the limited power in this situation. Don't know if I would keep using them or develop my brain in any way, because I'm not sure if I want to go this route yet. I will see how I'm doing. If I would need the power to survive, then I will consider it more closely. Pretty much only one fails, because one is an automatic failure. Which we didn't.
You feel the biomechanical brain of the console process your command and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
Might not be the time.
Okay, let's talk with Shadowheart.
I thought that damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts. Her gratitude is mixed with wariness, because you have a gift with you.
You keep dangerous company.
Sure do.
Fair point. Looks like there's plenty of fighting ahead. Let me come with you. We can get off this ship and watch each other's backs along the way.
I'm gonna try to play this character pragmatically, while also maintaining all of my oaths. For example, abandoning Shadowheart would be against my oath, because she was someone in distress and needed help, and I've seen her ask for help actively, so I couldn't just abandon her at this point. That's an easy way to break your oath really quickly. With each other's hands, maybe not right now. Yeah.
Shadowheart. One moment.
Come on, time to go.
Let us make for the helm. We've wasted enough time already.
She's right. Lead on.
Companion get. So, as we can see, we are now destined for the last set of doors. But first off, I believe I've got a key. So that's the golden key. We just used it. And if we want to we could toss it out right now, because we already use it if we want to keep clear, but keys weigh so little that they pretty much don't matter.
Let's see what this does.
And you never know if you use the actual key for this, or is it usable later on. I don't think I used much except for the laser ability.
I feel better.
And I don't know if this restores those, but just in case.
Nearing the helm. Once inside, do as I say.
Who put you in charge? I'll trust my own judgment.
Okay, ladies, calm. We need to get out of here alive, no point of bickering.
Connect the nerves of the transponder. We must escape. Now.
Do it. We will deal with the gate after we escape.
Alright, so here we have Lae'zel, despite her hate for the Illithids, decided that demons are a bit more pressing concern right now. And why this Illithid is on our side, at least neutral to us, is because he thinks we are thralls under his command, when in reality we are not under the direct influence of the Hive Mind yet. So, I've just taken some damage. I have an action heal and a bonus action heal. We have 2 other party members, and then he has 4 action economy. 1 would be wasted on the Mind Flare at least. Is it worth for me to heal right now? I think it is, because we have all of the initiatives and we can kill at least one of those enemies. I'm gonna use my action heal. I can use either 2 or 4 healing. I don't have any status to remove. I'm gonna heal myself for 4. More action. As it's more action economy efficient. And now, this is actually pretty useful because it gives me advantage on attack against fiends. It however lasts only 2 rounds, so I'm gonna wait with it for the next round. Instead, deciding to move to the side. Well, I don't know if I can reach from here.
Deadlier than ever.
And I'm gonna dip my weapon in fire. It might not be too useful against fiends, because some of them might be immune, but in case they aren't, it's gonna increase my damage slightly, and I didn't have anything to do with my bonus action anyway.
Stay focused.
Now for Shadowheart, she is a cleric. And I'm gonna begin by casting Shield of Faith on someone who would be intended as a main tank. Shield of Faith is a spell that increases my AC by 2, making me harder to hit. It is a concentration spell, however, as you can see, so I can cast only one of those spells at a time. And while she is the most squishy out of characters, despite being cleric still pretty tanky, I would prefer her being in the back, as she is also a healer. And that would be all for her turn. And Lae'zel will move in to Crow front line and perform a melee attack, finishing this enemy off, and then she would stand here, because I want for my Natalis to be the closest enemy to those imp, in case they are focused on the closest enemy, because he's my tank and he's currently buffed to be even tankier. Alright, one of the enemies hit, one missed. As you can see, they would have pretty hard time hitting me.
Another step forward.
And now I can use my self buff for advantage against fiends, which means I roll my attack dice twice and get the better number. On average, it increases your accuracy by 5 on dice, which can be pretty substantial. As you can see here. Dead. And I can't progress anymore. Now I'm gonna move to here. And they did take fire damage, I recall. They do. So I'm gonna make sure that Natalis is still the closest character to the enemies. About here. Well, there isn't really any enemies that will focus on us right now. I think I'm gonna then change the strategy to move towards the objective as fast as possible. At least on Lae'zel. Finish my turn here. And same with Natalis. I would want to jump first, because I have the elevation distance here, as well as I need some movement speed to start jumping. As an action, I can also dash to move towards here. Good at looting in combat doesn't take anything in this game. I'm going to actually choose to loot as Shadowheart, because only one of us needs to get to the console. Unfortunately for me, most of those bodies are empty. Oh, got a crossbow though. Gonna move towards those. Laser can keep on moving forward. Oh. I messed up my jump. No matter though.
Taking position.
She still has plenty of movements.
Hurry before they strike.
And we have more enemies. Unfortunately, I am out of action economy right now. So I'm gonna try to set a distance, so they might need to dash to attack me first. And in addition, I'm gonna set Natalis to be the closest character. We are running out of time. So yes, this Bob couldn't attack because the Lesser Hell's Bob couldn't attack because he was outside of range and needed to use his action to dash to be close enough. Unfortunately, my buff ran out. I can, however, move at least around the creature without provoking, because provoke only happens when you leave the creature's range. I'm also gonna now shove the bob. Unfortunately, failed.
Concentrate.
Wanted to shove closer to Shadowheart,
Have to keep going.
but she's pretty safe right now at the range. She has ranged attacks, so that's where she wants to be.
Victory.
I'm still keeping at pretty high health. I'm gonna move with laser a bit here. Nothing on the body. I can, however, make a ranged attack while still remaining my position behind Natalis. Another initiative on the enemy less. And we are out of time. Shadowheart already fallen. I'm gonna...
These boots have seen everything.
Pretty unlucky on the attacks that all of his attacks hit so consistently. I'm gonna use my action to dash, as well as my jump.
I need to reach the transponder.
And seems like my movement glitched out a bit. I can see how much of where I'm gonna go. I'm slightly shy of interacting.
No time to waste.
Oh, I accidentally shot in point blank, which was really bad, but it doesn't really matter. I would need to refrain from doing such mistake later though. And here are his reinforcements coming.
Take this ship, or Zarya will have your head.
Okay, at the very least, one of my characters still lives, but you can see how close I am to party wipe already. And they pretty much did nothing but to strategically fight, as well as dash for the objective. And here we are.
The Helm's alien transponder. You've made it in time.
And here we go. Escape with the North Lloyd. And it seems like we are not quite welcome here. And we got saved from becoming a pancake.
As you wake, the tadpole squirms in your skull.
Both of those are pretty pragmatic choices.
The chaos of the crash site confuses the landscape. You'll need to find a settlement or landmark, and you'll need to do it quickly. The tadpole is a death sentence, and the clock is ticking. You need a cure.
Right, hopefully loading times won't be that bad and the game won't like have problems with loading stuff, because I basically cranked every single settings I could to maximum. Most of them were at maximum to begin with the optimization for my graphics card, but I did increase few of them. Hopefully this won't affect performance that much.
Best be on my way. Fresh water. There must be a settlement somewhere nearby.
Shift shows slide levels. Caps lock doesn't seem to have any function. So yeah, only one path. They might need help. I must fulfill my oath.
You're
Alright.
alive. I'm alive. How is this possible?
I was hoping you may know that.
I remember the ship. I remember falling. Then nothing.
Do you have an idea where we are?
No, I don't recognize this place. But anything's an improvement on where we just came from. First things first, we need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
You have a healer.
You might want to reconsider calling her a friend. Looks like she ran off without us. We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
Alright, let's get moving.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that. Lead the way.
Alright. I shall lead the way then.
What's in here?
While gathering all of the loot I can on the way. Oh, it's just chasm so out of the map. There's a fight coming up that I'm really afraid about, to be honest. And it's the intellect devourers. Because those monsters can pack quite a punch and are really strong. And we all row. Okay, so that's just some shanties. I'm gonna save my voice on reading all those because it's pretty low value. Not really meaningful to the story. At least in my opinion. Water can be very useful. So yeah, there is this fight. I wonder, can I get more party members before I have to fight this? As we can see, our crash affected a lot of people, not necessarily just on the ship.
Open up.
Alright, there is this place.
Won't get that open easily. Maybe there's another entrance.
Okay, I have a +0. I can get guidance. So I basically need to roll 16. And with max guidance, the chances are really slim. I'm gonna try though. Who would have thought we did it? We opened the fucking lock. One of the harder locks in this in Act 1 with no modifiers, just pure chance. Here we go. So I need to be very careful here because I'm not supposed to be here yet. I can however level up, so I should do so. To improve my survival chances. Second level paladin. Doubled my health. I've got first level spells as features. Few actions. Okay, so I have Divine Smite. 1 to 8 radiant damage to fiends and dead. Oh, that's additional. I have... So, this deals my weapon damage plus 2d8 radiant damage on top. And additional 1d8 if I am attacking fiend or undead. And on miss does not expend a spell slot. This is different from the basic D&D, because this skill in base D&D does expend a spell slot even if you miss. And you need to declare it before you attack. Then there is Divine Smite reaction. The same version, but you use it as a reaction, obviously. And there is the Divine Smite critical reaction. For, I guess, for critical hits, I guess. Not sure. And I gained a passive fighting style, as well as I have spells to choose from. I guess to prepare, because I get all of the spells on the paladin's list, because I'm a paladin. So, for fighting style, I get only few choices apparently. Protection, I will have a shield. Great weapon fighting would need me to drop my shield. Dueling would require me to drop a shield and use a way weaker weapon. And defense is a basic tank option, which would increase my AC a little bit So it's between protection and defense for me. Defense is for individual tanking, which is what I want to do, but protection is also decent for party tanking. I'm gonna go with defense though. And let's see for my preferred spells. I have 4 possible spells, and they are gonna be as follows. Bless, as it's a very powerful spell. That would be my concentration slot on Natalis, at least early on. I'm gonna go with Heroism. If I don't need Bless, that's my alternative concentration slot, which is a very tank based skill. It gives me immunity to fear, which is situational, but also gives me 5 temporary hit points at the beginning of each turn. So basically you can think of it as 5 regeneration that goes on top of your health. 5 shield to say. Shield of Favor I will keep on Shadowheart because she is less likely to be attacked than the main tank. Command a creature to flee, move closer, freeze, drop to the ground, or drop its weapon. I'm gonna choose this spell as it's a very powerful spell. And I don't really want more concentration slots. I could either go for Cure Wounds and be a backup killer, but I already have a bunch of healing abilities for now. I'm gonna choose Thunderous Smite instead as additional damage type tool in case my enemy is immune to Radiant, which is my basic smite. This also allows me to push enemies away and not keep them prone. And it's an attack skill. Doesn't require concentration, as I must comment. So you can see my spell stats. My DC is 12 currently, 8 plus 2 from proficiency, and 2 from my charisma, and I have plus 4 to spell attack for proficiency and charisma. And now for Shadowheart. As I said, I will respec her once to set better stats, but I will keep her class. And do I want to multi-class anything for her yet? I don't think I do quite yet. I'm gonna keep with the Cleric for now, as I want at least base abilities and spellcasting, the improved one on 3rd level, before I even consider multi-classing. So she gets action turn undead and invoke duplicity as her domain. I will change her domain most likely because her domain is not the best to say the least. So yeah, Shield of Faith, concentration spell. Alternative spell would be alternative concentration would be Bane most likely, for debuffing the enemies. Also a very potent spell. Bless I already have on other character. She is gonna be the healer with Healing Word, which is the more versatile healing spell than Cure Wounds. I will also give her a melee option, which is Inflict Wounds. A very strong melee spell. And now, do I want to create water, or do I want Guiding Bolt for ranged damage? It's a very strong spell. This is situational or utility spell. I have pretty much all of those spells already, or I have concentration slots for I have used 2 spells. I think I'm gonna go with Guiding Bolt. She has slightly lower DC, no, slightly higher, I mean, because her charisma, her wisdom, which is her spellcasting class, is at 17, pretty high. Her stats are pretty, how to say it, unoptimal, because of 13 dex and 13 strength. you would want to have 14 and 12 if you can. Even if you drop like 1 intelligence or stuff like that. And that would be all for Shadowheart. So here I can grab some extra loot, but I need to be extra careful here. Because I'm not supposed to be here in the slightest. In fact, I'm just gonna be so careful that I'm gonna ungrab the party and keep Shadowheart behind. To make sure that we don't die to any AoEs.
This place wasn't built for the living. Be wary. This place is trapped.
Oh, I failed the perception, probably for that. There might be a trap here. Well, I did locate this one, so I'm assuming there is not gonna be one pretty much adjacent to it.
Watch how you go. There's a trap.
Okay, so this sarcophagus is pretty much one big trap.
Watch how you go. There's a trap. Step carefully. There's a trap.
Very trapped place. Failed this perception, most likely for another one of those heads.
Trap.
Okay,
Cautious.
got another pitfall trap. Soul coin. As well as some other stuff.
Strange coin. I wonder
Oh,
what it's worth.
careful. Now let's move next to this trap very carefully. And for next part, I'm actually gonna need Shadowheart's longer legs. Oh, there's also this chest here. Okay, so I should check out if there are any traps going this direction, because what I plan to do is a bit risky here. I'm gonna try to yoink the stuff from the sarcophagus with Shadowheart in turn-based mode, and if I fail, I'm just gonna book it out of the door. As you can see, I'm moving very carefully. And if I recall, there is a hard fight behind this door, so I'm not gonna try to go there. Doesn't seem like there were any shooting holes horizontally through there.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
I guess I could check those vases too. Alright, so I'm gonna set up my main guy here.
My faith protects me.
Turn-based mode. Well, not quite yet.
Stop me yet. On my way.
What? No, not him. You stand right next to the door, just in case.
There's no time to
Meanwhile,
waste.
Shadowheart is gonna do something very risky and very stupid. Turn-based mode. Sarcophagus, disarm. 10 DC, she has slight dex, but I cannot inspire herself. I made it! Barely! Okay, so this should disarm the main trap, the Watcher's Guide, as well as engraved key. You can't imagine how lucky I've got here. I've got here. To being able to not only open this DC-20 door, but also to disarm this trap without a dedicated rogue or someone with good dexterity. Insane. I made it though. It was a risky venture, but hopefully this would help me survive the Intellect Devourer fight.
I'll give it a try.
So yeah, that's the teleportation sigil. Oh, I should group now. Ah, he's still in the building, I guess. Group them back up.
Path lies before me.
I forgot what it was to
Need more pockets.
show this. No. Alt? Oh, Alt was for lootables, okay. It's very useful for finding herbs, which I might need. Because this mode is no joke. You've seen what happens in the tutorial, which I almost lost. One mob attack on my main character and we would have been done. Wiped.
Something good here, I hope.
So yeah, here are our enemies. Let's do some pre-buffing. Well, do I want to pre-buff right now? Heroism is action for 10 turns. Yes, I want to pre-buff now. Let's go about this close. Enter turn-based mode. And let's cast... I think Heroism or Bless. Offense or defense. Let's go for Heroism, maybe. On self. I'm gonna go with defense. Does Shadowheart has any buff she wants to cast as an action? Of the ocean attackers have advantage. Yes, she wants to cast Invoke Duplicity. Alright. Now she's gonna end turn. Illusion, of course, ends turn. I'm gonna move a bit closer to the illusion.
Keep going.
And now end turn. Because I don't want to have to cast those buffs in combat, I'm gonna cast it out of combat in the turn-based mode, just so they don't tick insanely fast and time-based. And now I'm gonna position correctly and attack.
I wonder what the next move is. Let's try this way.
Okay. Can she cast one of her spells at this distance to aggro the enemies? She cannot. Nope, any of them. Looks like
Still alive.
Looks like Natalis would have to do so. Oh, nice, we've got the initiative proc. Okay, so far they're missing.
Back. One strike could be lethal.
Yes, I know. That's a melee, if I recall. Yes, that's melee. Can I smite on arrow? No, smite have also melee. I'm just gonna shoot. Unfortunately, that's a miss. That's unlucky. Those... Right, I should examine them. Aberrations, right. So, my Divine Sense won't help. No point using it. So no point using it. It has blind sight, so any vision... Anything that requires vision is useless. And they are weakened. So, at least that's that. They are slightly damaged too. She still has all of her spells. I'm gonna cast a Shield of Faith as a bonus action. Right, do they really let you cast 2-leveled spells? I guess they do. Good. 1 initiative less from the wheel. Ow! I don't want her to be hit. Because as you can see, I've just took 6 damage and I'm back to 5 shield because it's step of turn. Oh, also I lost the invoke duplicity, unfortunately. Uh, 3 to 6 blunt, 3 to 10 physical. Second critical miss. That's unfortunate, actually. That's a bonus action. I could heal Shadowheart this way. I don't think I need though. Instead I'm just gonna dip.
Need any advantage I can get.
Should have done this first though. That's on me. 2 enemies. Hopefully... Okay, I'm gonna do a tactical move by retreating Shadowheart. Because her heal has a huge range, if I need it. And most of her stuff is ranged. And that way I'm minimizing the chances of enemies attacking her. Let's go for this one. 3 critical misses in a row. I mean, in this fight. Ow. This one is going for her. At least they also critically miss. That's actually pretty good that they split the damage because that's optimal for me. Okay, he's actually dead. I was counting that even if I won't kill him, I'm at least gonna knock him back so I can engage with this. Now if this one tries to run past me, I'm gonna have an attack of opportunity and now I can back up Shadowheart even more.
On my way.
As well as I think she should heal herself. 50% chance to hitting with the Sacred Flame, which isn't that great. However, 70 with Firebolt. Okay, it was forced to fight with me. Unfortunately, Shadowheart dropped her concentration on my Shield of Faith, but didn't really matter. Well, it might still matter if I keep missing like that.
Focus.
Not this, I wanted Flame Bolt.
You fight well. Perhaps
Okay.
our survival isn't such a distant prospect.
At least Shadowheart did pretty well. I did use all of my spells for this fight though, and Heresy is about to run out. May as well drop it. That's a bit unfortunate. I will need to have a long rest. And in this mode you need a lot of food each time you want to rest, and unfortunately one of the enemies died in the fire, which I won't be able to access. Well, not that they have anything on them anyway. Just checked, we are closing on 2 hour mark soon.
What's inside?
So that will be definitely a bit of a longer video, but I guess this game calls for longer episodes. If I don't want to just start internet videos basically doing nothing. Goes a potion. Potion of speed. A pretty solid potion.
Footprints. There may be even more that survived the crash.
Okay.
What's going on with that room? Looks unstable somehow.
Okay, we have Gale.
You approach the sigil on the stone. Magic glitters and swirls from it erratically, as if malfunctioning. It looks slightly dangerous.
It looks slightly dangerous. I'm gonna touch it. Only lightly smoked.
A hand? Anyone?
Another situation with the oath. Once again, someone asked me for help. Let's try. I have a pretty decent strength. And I can also get the guidance from Shadowheart. Not natural 20. Pretty much, as long as it wasn't a 1, I was gonna get it. With those modifiers.
Go on! Keep pulling!
Well, technically just 4 or more, but still pretty high chances to do it.
Hello. I'm Gale of Waterdeep. Apologies. I'm usually better at this.
I remember it at the introductions.
A bit shocked, but friend, it's a relief and a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Say, but I know you, don't I? In a manner of speaking. You were on the Norse Lloyd as well.
Yes, I was. Never mind the Northlight. How did you get stuck in that stone?
I don't know what transpired exactly, but the ship broke into pieces and I suddenly found myself in freefall. As I was plummeting to certain death, I spied a glimmer quite near where I estimated my body to impact with less than savory propulsion. Recognizing this glimmer to be magical in nature, I reached out to it with a weaving of words and found myself on the other side, as it were. How about you? How did you survive the fall?
To be honest, I haven't a clue. I feel like those dialogue options are slightly modified for the dwarf.
Fair enough. But even so, I have the unfortunate suspicion your survival is still very much in jeopardy. Back on the ship, you too were on the receiving end of a rather unwelcome insertion in the ocular region. Were you not?
Could have faced more apparently myself.
No use sugarcoating it, is there? The insertee we speak of, this parasite, are you aware that after a period of excruciating gestation, it will turn us into mind flayers? It's a process known as ceramorphosis, and let me assure you, it is to be avoided. You don't happen to be a cleric by any chance, do you? A doctor? Surgeon? Uncannily adroit with a knitting needle?
You seem to know enough about our condition to realize it's beyond most clerics' skills.
Most, no doubt, but I find myself hoping to be in the presence of the few. You don't happen to be one of them.
I was going to ask the same question. Can say I am paladin option. I can tend to basic wounds and ailments, but alien parasites, I am afraid not.
As we've established, few enough can. It's not exactly a common affliction. We're most certainly going to need a healer, and soon too. How about we lend each other a helping hand once more and look for a healer together?
Sounds like a plan. You're welcome to join me.
Most excellent. A parasite shared is a parasite halved, or something to that effect. Oh, but before you think you're about to embark on a journey with most ill-mannered a man, thank you for pulling me out of that stone. It was an act of foresighted kindness, I assure you. For I have the feeling ample opportunities will present themselves for me to return the favor.
Well, considering you a mage, yes, they will. Because mage is one of the more powerful classes in D&D. At least more versatile than most. And for Gale, I can actually choose a subclass, unlike Shadowheart, which started with one. Ooh, they added blade singing. That's my favorite subclass to play as in the D&D. You can bet that's definitely going to be mine. I was going to go for abjuration, but if they added blade singing, then well, I can't oblige. I love myself a melee mages. A master of wizardry and swordplay, you combine the elegant maneuvers of a warrior with the devastating magics of a mage. Blade singer weapon. Let's go for out of those. I want a dex based weapon because that would give me the highest AC. And rapier is one of the better finesse weapons. Like, really, who is gonna choose dagger? 0 out of 1. Why does it count as 2 out of 1? Either 0 out of 1 or 2 out of 1. Guess I'm gonna get that. And now, choose the spells you know from this list below. Spells require spell slots to cast. Yeah, blah blah. Basically mage's spell progression still, but with melee abilities. And that would slightly influence which spells would we get then. Since he's going to be in melee a bit more, we need to think about his survivability more so than the pure glass cannon damage. And I will change the stats around on him to reflect that, giving him slightly more dex and moving the charisma to wisdom at least. I might drop one of the int to give him more points to dex. At least they gave him a solid con. Blind could be decent. It's a melee spell. Long Strider is also pretty decent. Well, I can't really pass on Magic Missile as that's pretty much the best mage, level 1 mage spell you get for pure damage and reliability. Charm Person, Find Familiar would be funny, but not really for the hardcore runs. I think Burning Head is a decent melee spell, same with Corpse Spray, or if I want to be more of a tanky option, I can choose False Life. Or Shield, actually I'm gonna take Shield. It's a very good reactive spell. For someone with a frail hit point amount, it's very good, especially since Blade Singer has some features I'm gonna read out now, and which make him way harder to hit. So when someone is gonna hit me, I can always shield to make it not hit. Pure evasion tank, to say. So, Bladesong power. The resource used to cast the Bladesong. And here is the training in War and Song. You gain proficiency with light armor, and in the performance skill you also gain proficiency with daggers, sickles, short swords, rapiers, scimitars, and long swords. As you can see, I've chosen the rapier. For that, I've learned more spells and now prepare spells. Okay, so what do we have in my prepared spells? Mage armor, of course, kinda must. Witch bolt is a consistent damage option for low spell counts. It's pretty decent at the start. Sleep is a pretty versatile spell and decent at the earlier levels too. I'm gonna drop my grease for the shield, and I'm gonna drop the thunder wave while being AoE for magic missiles. Well, thunder wave could be really good because he's gonna be in melee though. Maybe I'm gonna drop the witch bolt as its concentration, and since he's gonna be in melee, there is heightened chance he's gonna lose his concentration. And get thunder wave instead for his prepared spells. Do I have any rapiers by chance? I do have one. Oh, also he got one. For free. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna give a torch. Oh, that's my torch. Also, here's your instrument for blade singing. What was that? Oh. So you can hide stuff, I guess. Pretty interesting feature. And I can... Ring mail is heavy 14. My current one is scale mail 14. And it's the medium, so I get bonuses from the decks. Not that it matters. Might as well. When I'm gonna go to camp, I'm gonna use the cosmetic mods that I installed for better outfits, just so I can hide the armors. But that's when. I'm not gonna do this quite yet. What do I have for weapon? Warhammer 1d10 weapon, which is pretty damn good for now. D6 weapon. Yeah, I think that's gonna be that. And Shadow Heart has a 1d6 weapon with mace. We do have better weapons. She has same strength and dexterity from what I remember. Might not be proficient with rapiers though. Yes, she's not. Javelin is the same damage as her mace, so in fact we do not have better weapons. We can however equip a crossbow on her. Doubt she would use it though. Alright, we have this. Spear. The Watcher's Guide. Death's Promise. When the spear misses its target, the wielder's next attack roll against the target gains True Strike. Which is probably the only way that True Strike is a useful cantrip. It's probably one of the best worst cantrips in the game. And she is proficient in spears. Spears is a 1d8 weapon also, which is as a base also better than her mace. That's gonna be sold. And Quarterstaff has a useful niche skill, I guess, with the topu. So I'm gonna keep it for now on him. Shadowheart's basic medium armor is 13. And Mages has just clothing. I would prefer to get some light armor for him when I can, since he can wear those now. So current composition is melee, versatile, tending ranged as its healer, and versatile but preferring melee as Blade Singer.
No one back home will ever believe
Alright, let's have a look around.
And move.
Not that. Right, there is a fight here, I believe. Yeah. I would prefer to get one more companion before I attempt this fight. With morsel. That's this. Let's go this way then. I don't remember where everyone was, but I can check around the area. I'm still missing Astarion and Lae'zel. Oh, found Lae'zel.
Of course it's dangerous. One of them carved up Zoru's horns. Zoru was right. Yellow as a toad, twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
And if it escapes, how will you... Oh, a guest.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips don't move, yet you hear her voice.
Get rid of them.
Well, do I want to be deceiving? I could also try persuading, which is a charisma skill, same as deception. Not proficient in either of those. That's talking with her, okay. I guess it's a paladin option, so I assume it's not breaking my oath. I'm gonna get guided. Need a 4 or more. Got it. Reminder, all of those rolls are final. I cannot load the saves.
He's right. Let's go. We need to check out that blast.
A blast?
You didn't hear it. Shook our camp good, so we came for a look.
Let's try. Oh, that's actually a pretty easy roll.
Northwest. Look for Nettie. Whatever your wound, she can mend it.
And be careful. There are goblin traps everywhere.
Nymessa, come.
Enough gawking. Get me down.
Now that they're out of earshot, sure. Say please. Sure. I'm gonna wait for them to actually leave.
Observe and listen. You'll hear goblins before you see them.
As you say.
I think we're out of earshot because I don't hear them anymore.
The tadpole hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me.
Careful. She obviously sees your kindness as weakness. Don't let her take advantage.
And what exactly is a creche?
It is many things. A hatchery, a training grounds, a shelter.
Githyanki protocol is clear. When infected with a Ghaik tadpole, we must report to Augustil for purification.
A simple thank you wouldn't go amiss. I'm not gonna try to risk it with the gift. Alright, we journey together. Let's find the creche.
You have made an ally from Creche Kalir. Few know such fortune.
Shadowheart disapproves, Gale approves.
I trust your judgment, but I won't trust her. Not until I've gotten the measure of her.
You've a sharp tongue, elf. Would that your mind proved its equal.
Half elf. I suppose the finer details are lost on a creature like you.
Come. The Horned Ones mentioned a camp. One there, this Zoru, has seen Githyanki. A creche must be near. We will ask this Zoru where he has seen my kin.
Reasonable deduction. Now let's level up. But I will be changing allies, because not only all the XP shared between everyone in the party, even if they are not in combat, which is convenient to change allies, but also it would allow me to tailor the party to the occasions. I'm not gonna go in with this set party. Also, fighters level up, the easiest thing in the world. Now I can try to loot that temple from the correct side. I'm still pretty low level to go underground to that temple yet. And I am pretty low on supplies right now. Can I camp? Can I long rest? By that I mean I can long rest 2 times with my current food. I think I can handle the top ones without it, and then I would need to, before goblins are going downwards. Alright.
Breathe quiet, move with care. Don't mind if I do.
Let's start my entire party.
No rest for the wicked, I see.
Action, not reaction.
I can't waste any more time.
Lead with the tank. Okay. I can't quite shove him off quite yet, I think. Or can I? Okay. That's a good start. I immediately knocked down one of the enemies. Who is now? Lazel. She still has her crossbow, and there is this line. I know because I fought this before.
On the move.
It's a tactician difficulty. You gotta take every advantage you get. That's 2 enemies eliminated. Then I'm gonna stand here as a first of the block. Right, enemies are surprised still. I'm gonna assume position for sniping. And firebolt this one. Firebolt. Missed. Unfortunate. Blade Song. So, that's what the Blade Song does, because I realized I haven't read it. I know what it does, of course. Invoke the Blade Song, you gain a +2 bonus to your armor class, and your movement speed increases by 3. That's actually different, because in D&D it's based on your intelligence. You add your intelligence bonus to your armor class, which means you would get even more. So it's slightly nerfed here, I see. You also gain advantage in acrobatics and a +2 bonus to constitution saving throws. And yes, the same restrictions. You can't wear medium or heavy armors or shields while blade singing. You must be wielding a dagger, longsword, rapier, scimitar, short sword, or sickle. And it's a no action. Well, to activate it, it's a no action. Do I want to activate it here? Yes, I think I do. Well, it's a self. So now he's blade singing and oh, I see. So they nerfed the ability itself, but they gave a little bit of extra thing. Bladesong Climax. Unleash a full damaging and healing effects of your Bladesong at once. Your Bladesong damage charges will harm enemies an additional 1 to 6 force damage, and your Bladesong healing charges will heal you and your allies an additional 1 to 6 hit points. Is there more? You will end your Bladesong. So yeah, that's not in the D&D, at least not in the rule set I know. And now that he shot his shot, he's gonna retreat out of line of sight.
Let's finish this.
And Shadowheart is gonna do similarly. Move out. 65 on this one. 70 on this one, so this is actually better because of high ground. Got the shot off. And then try to hide behind the line of sight. He's surprised. And my tank is gonna close off this section. And turn, because there is no dodge actions here in this game. There's difficult terrain here. I'm gonna move out a bit. Less than half, so I can bear turn. I can't quite shoot yet. I need to move slightly further. Still slightly outside of normal range. I guess I'm gonna have to use a jump to go back. Why can't I jump? I don't have enough movement. I have 2.7 out of 3 meters I need. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay. I'm gonna move the forward line slightly. Okay, he found an angle for Shadowheart. Now Gale's gonna move closer. And pelt him with the... Well, I'm gonna do long rest after this, so... All 3 missiles. That's enough. And he can actually stand his ground right now. With the Bladesong. Shadowheart is gonna retreat a little. Well, actually I'm gonna end my turn here. They slept laser. I'm gonna open with a healing radiance to heal Shadowheart, and then because then I can move here and use my action to help laser up. No longer sleeping, and I'm gonna move in front if I can help it. Then laser. She can swing a little bit further and pop a shot. And now retreat behind line of sight. Gale is out of the angle to do any damage to her. I guess I can just start going down with him. Also trying to break the line of sight as much as I can. Keep him safe. And for Shadowheart, can she safely pop out and shoot? I think she does. No, she cannot fully safely do that. Unless I'm gonna jump first, I guess. Yeah, I think I should do that. Jump down with more movement because it's going downwards. Now shoot. I've absolutely missed. And can I like... Oh, spacebar is apparently end turn. I'm trying to figure out a way if I can curve my movement better. So that was the delayed healing. movement half because of difficult terrain of the ice spell. Where is she now? She is within angle of line of sight if I want to get up on this balustrade.
My path be true.
And that's the combat. Finished it with no damage. Oh, Blazer slipped.
I'll set you loose.
You okay? Okay.
How much farther can I go?
Apologies if this playthrough is slightly more boring, but it's the hardest difficulty, so I'm trying to be as strategical as I can, especially since I have the experience to do that, to optimize my movement, positioning, action economy. I think it would be nice and unique to see the game from the perspective of someone who's pretty experienced in playing D&D.
No traps, please.
Okay. So now I can investigate the rest of the area here safely. Alright, let's do a resource check. I'm out of my channel oaths and spell slot. I have 1 layer on hands, as well as all of my fighting techniques. Shadowheart is out of everything except for her fighting techniques. Have disguise self is ritual actually, so that's always useful. Gale still has 2 spell slots and 1 blade song, as well as arcane recovery. And all of his techniques. And Laser has her second wind and fight action search still, and all of her techniques for weapons, as well as astral knowledge. I could actually use because it's until long rest. Let's put it on wisdom for better perception.
Onward. That's curious.
And it immediately pays up.
Speaking with my bare hands.
Does anyone have the shovel? That's a mace, not a shovel. I guess not. Well, I'm gonna go to a map and mark this spot. How do I mark? Oh, place marker, left click. Okay, that should be enough. Now I'll be able to see it on the map, that this is a place of interest.
Without delay.
Some more herbs. I could go down there, which I will. Check this place out. Which gives me a hatch that I could lockpick. So, as you can see, I already kinda cheated with the ruins by going downward into the main treasure room before doing anything else, and then I cleared the top part, at least most of it, and I found this hatch. This is probably to the downward part of the ruins too. All of this is connected. I'm gonna explore the underground part of the ruin in the next episode most likely, and probably will try to get level 3 before doing so. Because if I recall, fight down there is pretty rough. It's a long fight that pretty much requires a full rest before you start it. And it's still quite the endurance fight. So I'm gonna just check out some of the grounds upstairs still. And finish the episode in the camp. And let me know if you would rather see me try to style up my color tips with the special items on episode, or if I should do this out of episode and just show it off on episode. There is something here. Well, not really from this side. Yeah, I can do this. Also, let's get my characters,
Step forward.
as it's the slowest one in the group, so everyone will be able to follow. No herbs. I could go up from here. Oh, so we're back here basically. I'm usually pretty thorough with exploration because, well, I'm a completionist, so...
That will fit in my bag.
That may inflate the episode length. Sorry for that. Let's go this way.
I hear shouting up ahead.
We should check it out.
Okay, so that's the camp. So let's go other direction so I can get Astarion maybe? Oh, here's the shovel. So we can call this a hidden chest tutorial. Silk gland, 5 amber. Oh, we could get here too. Nothing to get here though.
Broken. Must have been here a while.
Okay, and this pathway is blocked off by fire. So yeah, this part of the location is pretty much explored. I could go around and back to the north to go to the left side of it. But I think I'm just gonna camp and prepare for the fight with the goblins now. Let's have a camp here so I can remember that I want to fight goblins once I pick the game back up. But for now, go to camp. Long rest is... I have enough. And here we are. So yeah, as you can see, I immediately got the chest pink. And here is these extra clothes. I'm obviously not gonna sell any of those because that would be cheating. And there's also the dye mod, which I also have because I've already collected those. Those are the purely aesthetic mods. The other two are based to character creation, as I told already. Got anything to say?
Lae'zel has a dangerous look in her eyes. Let's just hope she reserves those impulses for any common foes.
I don't wanna be too praying into her. I don't think I want to do any of those options. I don't want to pray too much yet, at least. Let's explore the campgrounds.
Anything of use?
Quite a nice looking water, I must say. You've got shrines, everything, reflections, flow, the tides. Also, graphics are all overall really good. Could be partially due to the settings I'm on, but also just as a base models.
A Githyanki joining our company. Not a collaboration I'd have anticipated, but a welcome one nonetheless.
So he's not privileged. I mean, not racist towards the Githyanki like Shadowheart is.
Let's see. I hail from Waterdeep, city of splendors. I am a wizard of considerable acclaim and scholar of exceptional accomplishment. I have a cat, a library, and a weakness for a good glass of wine. And if the mood takes me, I'm known to try my hand at poetry. There.
As an archmage.
Didn't that paint enough of a picture?
Let's change the subject. Let's not pry too hard. Alright, and Lazel.
Chatter already, Tusky.
Let's keep it formal with
I
her.
understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less.
Do more and question less, sure. I'm gonna leave the rest of the topic for now. And that would be it for the first day of the camp. Let's end the day. Yes. Oh, I've got a... Ah, I see. So you kinda have to end the day to get most dialogues. What do you have, Lazel?
A monster forms inside us, and you think to be idle.
You want to talk with me?
Kind to be fragile, but I didn't foresee the severity. Be quick about your rest. We must locate a creche.
I'm not worth, actually. One of the more hardy.
A thick-headed notion in a complex circumstance. Do you suppose the parasites inside us dare to rest? That the Geich do not still pursue us with each peal of the bell? Take your rest. I will stand watch. Should a single tentacle split your skull, I will not hesitate to end you.
Fair enough. I wouldn't want to have tentacles splitting my skull either. Also got a Shadowheart prompt. Not as much a gay one.
What were you two talking about?
We were just discussing the next
I
steps.
see. I'd be careful with Lazel.
Yes, I know, you don't trust her. So yeah, you don't trust
She's
her?
not of this world. I'd be surprised if our interests remained aligned. Let's hope we rapidly find a healer. You seem reliable. I think you know how important it is that we find someone who can cure us. Best if we focus on that.
So already a divide in the party. There is a Team Laser who wants to go to Crash and Team Shadowheart who wants to go to find a healer, which would be the Grove. I'm gonna go to the Grove first because it's closer. Whatever. It's late, we can talk about this in the morning. Let's not abandon our caution. This is unfamiliar territory. Sure.
Caution is a luxury we don't have. Let's rest and wake up at first light.
Alright. Gale still not talkative, I see. Well, that would be it for the day. And I have 80. What's some heavyweight stuff? We have this from camp supplies. We could. So yeah, those fishes are not that great. And here we have 40. And another 40. Full rest. Alright. Everyone seems very on the nerves for resting up. We actually need that because we would have died if we didn't. Pretty low on resources and hard fights ahead of us. But with that, I think I will end this episode. We did some progress, we went through the tutorial, we made a character. And now we are in the camp. Let me know if you want to see my process of finding clothes for everyone. If not, I'm just gonna do this off camera. This is actually a one episode recording stuff, so I will have the responses before recording next one. If you like what you've seen, please consider subscribing and liking this video. If you don't, then don't do that, obviously. I'm not forcing you. I would appreciate if you do, though. And with that, have a nice rest of your day and goodbye.